Hello everyone, my name is Peggy Perrette and I'm the Media Resource Specialist at Eddins Elementary. This is a video tutorial about TweetDeck. Hopefully you will learn some new information about TweetDeck, and this will also show you how to set up your own TweetDeck account. Let me tell you a little bit about TweetDeck to start off with. TweetDeck is a social network dashboard that helps you track and manage your social interactions. TweetDeck was originally a third-party Twitter client, but Twitter acquired TweetDeck in May of 2011, making TweetDeck the official Twitter desktop. TweetDeck uses a system of columns to help you navigate between content for multiple Twitter accounts or social network accounts or filters. TweetDeck gives the Twitter experience more flexibility and allows advanced users to gain valuable insight to what's happening at this very moment on Twitter. TweetDeck is currently available as a desktop app, a web app, or a Chrome app, and can be downloaded at TweetDeck.com. So let's go ahead and go out to the internet to TweetDeck.com. Let me show you what that looks like when you go to put it on your computers. So if you go to TweetDeck.com, this is what your page looks like. Now I'm working from a MacBook or a Mac product, and if you are doing so, you're going to click on this download button right here, and I'm going to go back and click on that in just a second. But for PC users, and if you want to put it on PC laptop, you're going to click here, or if you want to get the Chrome app, you can click this link right here to get the Chrome app. And you see a picture down here below of what your TweetDeck is going to look like with some columns. So let me go ahead and show you what happens when you go to download the TweetDeck app on a MacBook. If you'll click this button here, it's going to open up the App Store. Normally what you see here is a button that says free. And that's how you can install it. Well, I already have it installed on my computer, so let me close out these windows. I just wanted to show you what that looked like. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and open TweetDeck on this computer, and I already have an account and it's already loaded on this MacBook, but I went ahead and signed out so that you could see what the opening screen looks like. Now let me make a distinction here. TweetDeck is totally separate from your Twitter account, so you cannot use your Twitter email and password here. You have to set up a brand new account. So to do that, you're going to click this button right here where it says Create Account. And once you've done that, you'll have a new window where you'll be filling in some information. I already have a TweetDeck account, so I'm just going to put my email and password in. And then sign in. And what you see loading are my columns in my TweetDeck account. Now I'm going to show you several pieces to this interface as far as some navigation buttons go, and then how you can actually add some more columns, because it does populate when you first add your Twitter account. Now, when you first log into TweetDeck, you won't see, you'll see empty columns, but what you have to do is you will see a screen, or you'll see a window that pops up that looks like this. It's your application settings window, and it will default to open up to this Accounts tab on the left-hand side. Now, here's where you enter your Twitter accounts in. As you can see, I already have my Twitter account entered, and if you have more than one Twitter account, you can add those. In fact, you can choose which Twitter account to default to send your tweets out from. I choose not to add a personal Twitter account here. I want to keep those separate, so I'm not going to put that in on my TweetDeck account. But you can also add Facebook accounts or LinkedIn accounts, and have that all going at the same time and in different columns on your TweetDeck. So go ahead and click on Add Twitter Account, and you're going to get a window that opens that looks like this. Now this is where you put in your Twitter email and password. And then what you have to do is click this button right here that says Authorize the app. So what you're doing is giving the TweetDeck app permission to use your Twitter account. I'm going to cancel out of that since I already have mine in there, and show you some other buttons over on the left-hand side. There's a services button that you can click on here, and you can make some choices here. Twitter automatically shortens any URL link that you put in a tweet, and it automatically defaults to a program that Twitter has, or you can make the choice to use the Bitly program, and if you have an account with Bitly, you can enter those in right there. You can also choose a program to upload your pictures with. Twitter, again, is the default program, or you can choose some of these other choices, YFrog, TweetDeck, or some of the other choices listed there. I'm going to go ahead and leave that as the default, and I choose to use the Bitly program for my URL link shortening program. The last little button at the bottom here is the global filter button, and what you can do with this is you can filter out tweets. The example that's used here on this little window is, for example, if you don't want to see a bunch of tweets that have the word iPad in them, you can type in the word iPad and it will filter that out. If I go back up to the General tab on the left-hand side, you're just going to see some basic settings here that probably most likely you just want to leave as defaulted. So make sure that when you first log into TweetDeck, you add your Twitter account, and then you can go in and make changes or leave these at their defaults. So let me exit out of that and show you a little bit more about some of the buttons here. When you add your Twitter account, you're going to see 3 columns that it defaults with. There's a home column, there's an at or me column, and then there's an inbox. Now, when you first add your Twitter account, those are going to be blank, but they will eventually populate, so don't think that there's something wrong. It just takes a little bit for them to load and populate. Now, before I go into the different columns and how you can add some columns, I want to show you how you can send out a tweet using TweetDeck. You're going to go up here to your update button, and it looks like a little quill inside a box here. If you click on that, that's going to open up a window where you can type your tweet. And as you start typing, you can see down at the bottom here, our numbers are counting down. So as you know, with Twitter, you're allowed 140 characters. So this is kind of a neat feature. As you're typing, it's going to tell you how many characters that you have left. So that's kind of neat. So then you're going to type your tweet in here, and if you would like to add a photo, you can click on this button down here on the left, this camera button, and that's going to open up a loading window, and you can choose a place on your computer where you have a picture stored, and then you can load a picture. You can insert a picture into your tweet. The second button at the bottom is a scheduling button. The nice feature about TweetDeck is you can choose when to send out a tweet. It could be that you don't have time every day to send out a tweet, so you could load up a bunch of tweets at the beginning of the week and choose the day or the time you'd like those tweets to go out. I might want to send out one next week, and I'm going to take some time today, and you can choose the time that you want that sent out, maybe like 10 o'clock in the morning on April the 2nd. So you can enter that time in and choose to send the tweet out at a different time. So that's your scheduling button. The third button here on the far right hand side is a direct message button, and this is it's like a personal email through Twitter. So if you want to send a personal and direct message to one of your followers on Twitter, you can click on this button, and you can see that the layout changes just a little bit because it opens up a window that you can enter in your Twitter user's name. I'm going to enter in one of the teachers at my building, Vanderplas, and I'm going to enter in her Twitter name in that bar. So now, as whatever I'm typing here, I can go ahead and send as a direct message to her and then click on send. So this is your direct message button. This is your scheduling button, and then there's also that photo button on the far left-hand side. All right, so that's a little bit about tweeting from TweetDeck. What you see listed here are some different columns that it's going to default with. Your home column, your me or your at column is the column that shows tweets where your Twitter account is mentioned. So you can see in every one of these my Twitter account is listed, or my Twitter name is listed. Now your inbox are the direct messages coming to you, and this is, like I said, the Twitter version of email. But remember, you can only send a message to people who are following you. All right, so there are different columns and ways to add those columns to make your TweetDeck a little bit more usable and to help you out to follow and monitor different different people and different sites. All right, so let's say, for instance, I would like to follow somebody here that I want to make a column of someone that I enjoy reading their tweets from. So let me stick with my teacher at my building. Let's say when I hover over Casey Vanderplas's name, it becomes a link. So if I click on it, what I see is her account information, her tweets and people following her and followers. And then down at the bottom, I see little buttons that say tweet, mentions, lists, timeline, and favorites. Now what I can do, if I click on tweets, it's going to open up a window that shows me all of the tweets that she has sent out from this account. Now, if I want to keep track of all her tweets, I can add a column on my TweetDeck account. So if I close this window, you can see that now I have a fourth column, and this is showing me all of Casey Vanderplas's tweets. Now you can do that same thing, and you can add a column where all of her mentions are going to show up in a column. And you can do the same with lists and timeline and her favorites as well. One more thing I forgot to show you is this button here is going to tell you whether you're following them or not, or you can choose to unfollow them here, or you can send a direct tweet to them from this button as well. And something else you may want to do is follow a certain site. This is a particular site that I like following. It's called The Digital Shift. So again, if I hover over that, I can click on it, and it tells me this is powered by Library Journal. And I could, again, add a column with just their mentions, or just add a column showing all of their tweets. So that way I don't have to scroll through my home or my timeline. I can just look at this one specific column and see what tweets have gone out recently. So there again, there's another column added that way. Okay, so I'm going to make this a little bit bigger here. There we go, expand that just a little bit. Now there's another way that you can add columns, and that's by clicking this button at the top where it says Add Column. So this gives you, your timeline is real similar to your home column, so I'm not going to add that, but you can add an interactions column. This column shows all of your interactions with people that you're following and that follow you. So I'm going to add that column. And then go back. I can also enter a column that shows, well, this is your one that it's defaulted to, so you will already see that one. Now I can also click on this search button, and that's going to bring you up to your search bar up here at the top. I do follow quite a few hashtags, so let's suppose I want to add a column that just shows a particular hashtag I'm following. The media resource specialists in McKinney like to tweet out and use the hashtag MCKEdTech. So I want a column that just shows those tweets. So if I type in my hashtag and then that hashtag and press return, it's going to show me all of the tweets that were sent out with using that hashtag. So I want to add a column where all of those can be seen in one quick movement here as I scroll down that column. Okay, so I'm going to add another column. I'm going to look back up here and add another column. Maybe I want a column that shows me all of the tweets that I have favorited, and I'll show you how to favorite a tweet in just a minute. But it's you can see that it's been favorited by looking at this right-hand corner. You've got sort of a color of this orange color colored in with a star. So I can add that column if I want to keep up with my favorites, the tweets that I favorited, so I can go back and take a look at them. You can also even add a column showing your scheduled tweets. All right, so those are just a few of many different columns that you can add. Let me just show you a little bit about the navigation on those columns. If you click on the right-hand side here, there's an edit button. Now you can delete the column, you can clear the column, you can tweet out, or you click on this button here, it's going to take you to Twitter. And then you can move this column over. You can shift it to the left or to the right, depending on where you want it to show up on your TweetDeck. You may want it closer to the very beginning columns. So as I'm clicking on it, you can see that it's sliding over to the left. All right, so that's a little bit about those columns. One little quick thing about the tweets that you see within each column. If you hover over someone's name or a site that you follow, you can see that some little buttons, let me move over and do it over here, you can see that some little buttons appear down below the tweet. This button here, this arrow button, is a reply button. So if I wanted to reply to this tweet, I can click that button and it already populates it with the person that tweeted that out, and then I can type a message to them. I can also retweet that tweet, and if I click on this box here with the double arrows, you have the option to retweet it, in other words, tweet it back out as your own with this button here. But if you'd like to edit that before it's sent out, you can click the edit and retweet button, and it has the tweet, and you can go back in and take some things out. Like, let's say I don't want that hashtag in there, I want to add a different hashtag. So you see you can edit that tweet before sending it out. You can add a picture or maybe schedule it. And then this third button here, I showed you a favorites column that I added just a few minutes ago. If I want to favorite this tweet, then I can click on that star, and as you can see, it adds that little colored triangle in the corner with a star. And then if we click on our three little dots over here, this gives us some more options to take a look at. We can tweet directly to her, we can unfollow, we can send a direct message, and you can see some of the other options that are available there. Now if I click on my details button, it's going to open up the tweet in a larger window, and it could be that the whole tweet's not showing, so sometimes you do need to click on that details button, and then you can go back when you click on the arrow to go backwards. All right, so that is those are some of the things that you can do with TweetDeck and adding columns and tweeting out. There's a whole vast array of different columns and options you can choose with TweetDeck, but it truly does make following Twitter and different people and different sites out there a whole lot easier. You can see it in one interface here with TweetDeck. Now there is a PDF that's associated with this video tutorial, so if you need some more information you can access that, and it does give you some written directions on how to add a TweetDeck account, and hopefully you've learned a little bit more information about using TweetDeck. Thank you.